Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's. I have here a Peugeot 308. It's a 1.6 HDI. Okay, inside the car here we have the engine management light on. We have a service light over there and a flashing Urea sign. Now if we start the car up, let's turn it off and restart it. We do get a sign there in the middle. Emission control starting prevented in 700 miles. So what I'll do is I just hold the revs here at 2500 RPM, somewhere around there, for around about 4 or 5 minutes. And what I'm looking to do is see if the pressure of the Urea goes up to 6 bar. So 4 bar on these cars means absolutely nothing. There is no pressure. If you disconnect the tank, you'll always have 4 bar. I don't know why it's like that, don't ask me, but it should say 0, but 4 millibar is 0 pressure basically on these, and you have to have 6 bar of pressure to know they're working. So if you hold the revs for a few minutes, that pressure should increase up to 6 bar. If it doesn't, then you have a problem there with the tank. Okay, there, so we can see that the pressure is not moving from 4 bar. So what we're going to do is we will release the pressure now, and we shall switch the car off. Ignition back on. Surprisingly low mileage on this car, 39,000 miles. So if we come back out of the live data, this tool I'm using here, scan tool, is the Launch Eurotab 3 from launchtech.co.uk. Go to the fault code, we have that code there, P20E8. Pressure of the Urea fluid is too low. Okay, having a look under the car. We've got what looks like a couple of T20E Torx running along the rear bumper here to remove this piece of plastic, which seems pointless. We've got some sort of plastic cover here on the rear end of the tank, and then we're going to have a few 13mm bolts, I take it. We'll get this off first, these bolts, and then we've got a couple of plastic little clips there to remove as well. So we got the rest of those out. We've got 2 of those there. These little plastic, oh, my brain keeps freezing up. I think I'm getting Biden syndrome. I can't even remember what stuff is called anymore. Let's get these out. And then we should be able to pull this off. Oh no, it's got a couple of the bolts there that are holding it in. So it looks like that's the bolt that's holding the tank as well. We've surely got 2 of those, yeah. 2 of those on the back, and we've got 1 right up the front over there. So if we come just around here to the front of the tank, just up there, in a little bit of an awkward position because it's not directly straight. I have to get on that at an angle. Looks like a 13mm bolt, is it? Yes, it is a 13mm. So that's out. Okay, before I take out these back bolts, I'm just going to hold my leg here rested against it, and we should get these out. These look like a smaller size. Is that out? It is. It looks like it's staying captive in there. This one's come out. And we've got another one over here. I've got that off there. I don't see the point of that, to be honest. Don't see the point why they put it there. Now we've got that cover off, we can see there's 13mm bolts at the back. 2 more here that hold it back on. Okay, like I said, I've got my leg there resting on it, just holding it. And what I've done there is I've just disconnected the 2 plugs, 1 and 2, just standard clip plugs there like that. You just pull back the tabs and pull them out. And this one here, normal sort of fuel line that you squeeze the 2 sides, and that pulls out there. Now we should be able to just get the tank out, and it is full of AdBlue. So have a look at this tank here. The bolts don't look in very good condition on that for the age and the mileage of the car. You can see the AdBlue stuff there. It's been coming off. It looks like dog hairs. Now we have the replacement tank. It's not brand new, customer supplied. Second-hand unit here. We're going to get it fitted, and I can see there's a little piece missing here from that, so I removed it from the old tank here, and we just get that fitted back onto the replacement unit. I was going to say new unit, but replacement. Alright, so the reason why this customer has got a replacement tank as a second-hand unit, this came from a crash car. He paid £140 for it. The place where he bought the car from, Peugeot dealership in St. Neots, they said as a favour they could sell him a tank for £1,150 because he bought the car there. Of course, that is still a high price. He got that for £140, so really I do not blame the person for buying a second-hand part. I mean, second-hand parts really I don't really agree with, because yeah, but if they're, you know, if you're getting asked sort of £2,000 for a repair, and then you can buy a part for £140 and have someone fit it, you know, for similar sort of costs, it's a big difference than spending £1,150 on a part, and then plus whatever Peugeot's labour charges would be. I'd imagine it's looking at somewhere between £1,500 somewhere around that region. So yeah, I think he was right to do a bit of saving there, but the problem is, of course, is you don't know how long a tank like that's going to last. Okay, so that's the new tank, all fitted there, back in the same order that we've taken it back out. Okay, so we're now in the boot and we are filling up the AdBlue tank here with the fluid. Let that soak down a bit. Just got some new AdBlue bags here to put in. Okay, now that's all done. Okay, now we're back in the vehicle, and on some of my videos I do realise that I don't give the full information enough sometimes, but before we test the pressure of the tank, we are going to need to clear this code, tell the vehicle that it's had a new tank, just to get it out of the fail-safe mode or the limp mode or whatever you like to call it. So we're going to go to special functions, replacement parts, emissions control, and we should have somewhere, yeah, here, replacement of the additive tank. Hang on a minute, just make sure that we're not getting the right tank as well, because yeah, I have 2 tanks. Replacement of the particle filter, pre-catalyzer, urea injector, pipes. Fill the fuel, no, this is the fuel additive circuit. Let me go back. Work on the emissions, work on the engine. Replacement of the flywheel, no. Emissions control circuit, it should be here. Replacement of particle filter, urea injector, replacement of the pipes, NOx sensor, DeNOx catalyst converter. Let's just do this one, see what happens. Okay, I think I'm just going to come back out of here and do it in the service functions. Work on the emissions control, reinitialization of the DeNOx false. Yeah, we're going to press that. A problem occurred. Just try resetting the ignition. Okay, let's try that again. Emissions control, reinitialization. Ignition on, engine not running. No problem again. Go to draining and filling. Filling of the urea reservoir or additive reservoir. Urea reservoir is the AdBlue, I think. No problem occurred again. What's going on with this car? So come back from that menu. Let's just try it through this section here. Look for AdBlue reset. Okay, priming of the additive circuit, reinitialization, following replacement of urea injected, filling of the urea. No, still saying that. Okay, I'm having a look at a different scan tool here. I've got the AutoFix D1 replacement of the diagnostics reservoir. I have got that option here for this. Unsatisfied again. Okay, so I've just reset the ignition there and it now looks to be doing it. So let's wait and see. Turn the ignition back on and it says it's successful. Yes, the urea light has stopped flashing there. So now we can go back and clear the fault code. Fault not cleared. Don't know what happened there again. I'll have to reset the ignition again. So I think I have already mentioned it, but that is the code there, P20E8. AdBlue. It actually worded different on this. AdBlue pressure too low. Okay, so same thing again. Seems to be a strange car, this one. You need to keep resetting the ignition to actually get stuff to connect. Okay, ignition back on. Faults have gone. Now let's start the car back up. We should now see no errors. Right, I need to figure out if I can find the same live data on this tool as I did on my launch. Exhaust line information. Exhaust line information. Denox information 1, I think. Trying to get it so there's not so much glare on the screen. Okay, AdBlue pressure there we have, 4 bar. So again, like we've done earlier, gonna hold the revs up. 2.5 revs, 2,500, sorry. Got my little geese friends out there, just gave them their lunch. Chuck them a bit of bread. Got more coming. So just keep an eye on this now. We should see that go up to 6 bar if the tank is working. And there we have it. We have 5.8 bar of pressure there. So that is that tool there I was using, AutoFix D1. That's the engine lights all gone, and I will send a bit of feedback to launch here just to ask them to get that sort of error there fixed if I can. So that's it, it's all finished. We've got a tank now that's come up from 4 bar up to 6 bar pressure. Fluid's all working. We've topped it up with AdBlue. That's it, all finished. Peugeot 308 GT line, quite a nice little car I think actually. So that's it,